Okay, hi everybody, it's Barbara here from Pagan Life Rights, and we are coming up to the summer solstice tomorrow. We all love the summer solstice. Look at it, the sun is shining, birds are singing, it's warm, yay! And I and Paula, who is holding the camera, and
hello,
my expert camera person, want to talk about something pretty serious, and that is the fire aspect of the Midsummer, and in fact of all the festivals that we celebrate. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware that in this country it is actually illegal to light what they call a recreational fire, which is what we would be lighting, on public lands. So up in the mountains, in a park, anywhere that there is not a designated fire pit or fire area, it is actually illegal to have a fire. And when I'm talking about open fires, I'm not just talking about on the ground. I'm talking about things like braziers, they might be on a metal stand, something which is actually even more dangerous because the metal conducts the heat into the ground. I'm talking about barbecues, anything like that that has an open flame on public land is illegal. And there's a very good reason for that, and that is wildfires. I live in Dunleary, Killiney area, and on Killiney Hill recently, beginning of May, there was a wildfire caused by somebody lighting an illegal fire. They're actually banned year-round there. It's part of the park's bylaws. In Killarney recently, there was a wildfire, and it was actually caused by a perfectly legally lit fire in a fire pit. But it was windy, and the sparks blew out onto the land, and a wildfire started and had to be brought under control. And we are caretakers of this planet, of the earth, and we as pagans actually should be more responsible, not less, for what we do on her. So first, I would say, if you're going to have a fire at Midsummer, and it's on your own land, and you're being safe, you have a properly dug fire pit and it's properly lined, so that it doesn't connect with the earth, that's fine, because one of the things about fires is we think of the lovely fire on top. We don't think about the lovely fire that can spread underneath. And what happens if the ground is dry, and even after rain, we don't think, it's rained, the ground isn't dry, but the ground actually can be very, very dry, especially in the summer. It dries out very quickly, and fire spreads underground as well as overground. I've seen this happen up again in our local on Killiney Hill, where fire has been put out and then it suddenly springs up again somewhere else because it's spread underground. So we have to be very aware of that. So safety in how we light our fires is most important. Even on our own land, we need to be safe. On public land, I'm sorry, you just can't do it. No matter how much you would like to have the lovely flames towering, unless you have specific permission from the county council and you have a registered firekeeper who will take full responsibility of the fire, and you have insurance, you can't light a fire. It's really that simple. So we like fires. So, we have to kind of think of what are we going to do to bypass the need to have a fire at Midsummer. Over the years, and I'm going to stop myself here and say, in the past, when I didn't know any better, I have been guilty of having fires in the wrong season outside. Now, admittedly, they were very contained, But that is actually no excuse. I was breaking the law. I mean, it was also about 40 years ago, having done it for a very long time. And when I found out about the regulations with fire, I stopped doing it. Ignorance is no excuse, but it was the reason why I did it. I no longer do it. And even if you're having a fire in your own garden, I would recommend having it, if you don't have a proper fire pit, wet down some logs, soak them, and put a sheet of metal over those logs, and then have the fire on top of that, so that you have a damp course, if you like, between the fire and the ground. But actually, you know, unless you actually have the proper facilities to have a fire, don't do it. So to get on to what can I do, because I really want to have something to represent fire at Midsummer. I have two solutions. There are better ones actually available on the market, because these are a bit makeshift now for you. But I have two solutions that I'm going to show you. The first is this. It's a very elegantly decorated candle contained within a glass lantern, so that the candle flame will never escape outwards. Now you can see the little wax strips that I've put on this to represent the flames of the fire, and you can actually buy these flat sheets of wax that you warm in your hands, and you can cut them to shape and stick them onto plain candles. But we're going to move inside so that you can, you know, it's dark, we're on a hillside, it's sunset, we've lit our fire, and so you can see just, actually, you know, if you have two sticks in the ground and you're hanging this between them, you've got a beautiful little fire for your midsummer celebration. So that's one solution. The second solution, I'm just going to put this down. So this is a second solution, a second idea, I should say. It's not a solution. And this is just stuff that I picked up in a supermarket, and I think they're very effective. But you can actually get proper fire pit looking ones that you can use, and they're solar powered. And so I've just stuck my 5 little torches together. And again, if I bring this inside into the dark, we have to shut the door for this one. So I'll shut the door over. We don't have as much light. And so now we have our little makeshift fire. Now, in fairness, the fire pit versions of these would look a lot better and a lot more effective and are quite spectacular. Where this is actually quite good too. I'm going to play dress up now. Are you ready? All dressed up now. Ooh. And you have a guardian standing in front, challenging you on the way to the central ritual. They're fabulous. They actually give you a bit of theatre, a bit of drama, and they're safe, you know. So after dark, and even in daylight, you can just cover them, cover the solar panels. So, you know, a bit of black tape across the solar panels will light them, but they won't look as effective. So that basically is it. That's what I wanted to talk about. Big thanks to Paula for being my handy camera woman. That came out all wrong. Big thanks to Paula for being my handy camera woman and allowing me to use my hands and focusing in on what I'm saying. And from both of us.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, I don't know why I'm saying hi. I've been talking for the last I don't know how long. But anyway, from both of us.
Have a wonderful midsummer. And have a wonderfully safe midsummer.
Exactly.
Take care, guys.
Blessings to all.